friends. It's been a week, right, since we did this last. Let's play with color. Let's have some fun. So I'm using my Start Your Art cards, and today we are going to play with color temperature. So I'd love it if you have some colorful scraps, and they can be fabric, they can be paper, or you can play with markers or colored pencils or crayons. It doesn't matter what medium you use. We're going to have fun and play along with color. I'm a textile artist, so I use fabric scraps, and let's go over and see what we're working on. All right, so today we are going to work with color temperature. The card says color, cool it. Create a composition using very warm colors. Now add one cool color to the mix. How much of that color do you need? What happens when you place it next to different warm colors? Now do the opposite, beginning with cool colors. So you can do all of these things. You can do a bunch of exercises in a row. Let's just start with the first one. We'll start with very warm colors and add a cool color to the mix. So start with warm colors, add a cool color to the mix. There we go. Sorry about that. It went out for a minute. So what's a warm and a cool color? Warm colors are usually the colors around yellow and red, right? Although not yellow, not orange, not lime green, but they can get cool, like a minty blue, green. That can be cool. And cool colors are usually over by the blue side. And the colors in between the purples, they really vary between warm and cool. And everything depends on what you put it next to. So we're going to start with just a 5x7 space. Again, since I'm a textile artist, I am going to just use this piece of stabilizer and a glue. Or one thing that I do that's kind of cheating is I have a bunch of these already with backgrounds on them. So let's look at them, and what were we starting with? We were starting with warm colors. So let's play around with warm colors. What is a warm color? Well, that's kind of, compared to that, that's really cool, and yellow is always warm. This is a warmer green compared to this green, which is kind of the same. Oh, look how cool that is. Cool, warm. How does it make you feel? Warms, actually physiologically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, they make you feel warmer, hotter. And cool colors can make you feel, let's put the warm colors over here, the cooler colors over here. They can make you feel cooler, right? Now this is kind of a cool blue, this is a cool red, and this could be a warm red, but let's just start with really, really warm. Let's go with a green. I'm just going to be using a glue stick, and I'm going to add more warm colors. So what would those be? Definitely my tray here of orangey yellows. Orangey yellows, and then maybe some lime greens as well. And oh, that's the exact same thing. Let's pull out some more warm things. I'm just pulling out things to play with, and then I'm going to make a little collage just using scissors and glue stick because I find that easy and fun. Oh, maybe pull out some of the shapes I already have cut out. All right, just going to make a composition. Now, these colors are really different from each other. So the composition, let's start with the things that are kind of easy and the same. So, I don't know. Let's balance it one way, the other way. I don't know. It's abstract, right? So you can do anything you want with it. Oh, look at this. I like things a little off-center. We can play with it there. Leave it there. Maybe have some spinny, sticky things. This was already cut out in the tray. So I'm a textile artist, I'm a quilter, and a lot of these fabrics I've dyed, but some I have not. And one of the ways I create my images is putting fusible web, which is a heat activated glue, on the back of my fabric, and then I can just iron it all down. And I save every scrap, obviously. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. And I have one for every color over here. Here's my reds. Ooh, so pretty. Let's get that out of there. Sorry, I should have turned my notifications off. At least this time I put my phone on silent. Oh, I learned something new every time I do one of these. So I've got all green warm colors. What if I add in some yellowish warm colors? They're going to be really different, so they're going to really stand out. That's a little cool. This is definitely warm, and it's kind of a fun shape too. So what if I tuck a little bit of it in there and get a little bit more of it from somewhere? That's kind of a funky shape. Would it go down there? Or a little bit more up here to balance it? Or maybe this is too much over here and keep going out. Sorry about that. Maybe this only needs a little bit of yellow to show up. All right, so we mostly have warm colors here. This and this look a little cool just because they contrast with the warm. Now, what is a really cool color? Red can be warm, but sometimes in relation to other colors, it can feel really cool. This is a very purple kind of red, kind of a mauve purple. This could feel, that feels really cool, doesn't it? It doesn't feel hot at all next to that warm, warm green. So maybe I can find more of that. Maybe that's the only one of it in there. The pinks feel really, that feels really cool too. So maybe I'll play with these for a few minutes. So let's talk about yellow again real quick for a minute. Yellow on the color wheel, she's like the soprano that refuses to blend. She is always a diva. Yellow always is a diva. If yellow is not supposed to be the star of the show, you might only need a tiny little bit of yellow to balance the whole lot of the other colors. So if we are going to add some cool colors, I might only need a little bit. So, sorry about that, folks. We'll get it in there. So, cool colors and warm colors are very different from each other. And when you balance things that are very different from each other, sometimes you don't need a lot to balance the thing. Sometimes you need only a little spark. So you can have an entire composition created with lots of warm, like the amount of warm colors here is almost the entire piece. And then I've only got 3 little bits here that are cooler than the rest. But because they're so different, you only need a little tiny bit of the cooler bit to balance it out. So maybe I'll put these farther up here. And do I need that there? I think I do. That's another way to figure out if you want things in there. Take them away and look at it and go, oh, I miss it. Then if you miss it, you might need it back in there. So maybe I need some things. Everything's kind of bottom heavy. You don't have to fill up the whole space. Leaving some empty space in an area as opposed to really complex areas that are all filled up sometimes is really nice because it gives the eye a place to rest, and it makes the complex areas more interesting because they're contrasting with the empty areas. So I kind of feel like it's nice to have something here to draw the eye up, but I want to leave that area kind of empty. And these shapes, most of these shapes are like either straight or a crescent. So what if I repeat the shapes of the crescents instead of having different shapes? A lot of times, in order to make something fit in an art composition, you need repetition. And sometimes that repetition is a color, sometimes it's a shape. In this case, I'm repeating the curve of those crescents. I'm gonna yell at my cord and my iPad in a minute. Thank you for your patience with this, blipping in and out. Let's put this in a different direction. So you want repetition, but not so much repetition that it's boring, right? So this is kind of fun, playing around with warm colors and cool colors. And you can do the opposite. What if you start with something really cool and add in things that are really warm? How are you going to do that? Let's have a whole bunch of cool things here. And then look how much that becomes the focal point. Not only because it echoes that shape, so it draws the eye up here, but because this is so much warmer than the others. Now this wouldn't be a fantastic composition all by itself because it's one of each thing. But what if you added more of this up here and a little bit of something cooler up here? I'm not sure if I'd want that much of it. How about let's just play with it for a minute, right? Do it for real. Making a mess here. But here's some more cool. And I like this shape. But what? I like that it's up like that. But let's let it sit up. Let's fix this circle a little bit. If I wasn't just playing and being okay with making junky bad art, if I wanted to make good art, I would trace it and make a really nice circle. So that's an interesting circle down there. Maybe just a little bit less of this up here. Maybe it needs 3 is always a good number, right? So instead of one big block, let's mix it up into 3 shapes. There we go. I don't know if I'm breathing wrong and my cable's going out or what, but it's really annoying. Let's get them all the same here. So I'm just fussing around, playing with bits just for fun. Now I have this down here that I could play with, and maybe I need a lot more of this going up there. And what if this was, I wonder if I have another piece that's, oh, this might be good. It's got a little more of the darker bit in it. So instead of having a, I don't know what I'm saying. Instead of having a straight line down at the bottom, what if I have a piece that's up here and I'm going to want it to end there, which means I'm going to cut it all the way back here so it hugs but leaves some space for that orange circle. And then maybe I can have more of this down here. Something like that. And maybe little bits down there. So I've pulled some of this into each section, pulled some of this into each section. I don't know if I need more orange. Remember, I love slivers of things, so I could move this around, but in this case I don't. I think I'll leave that as the main focal point. So here we have a big mess, mostly. You should see it, it's a huge mess. We have a composition using warm colors and added cool colors to the mix. And this time I used little tiny bits, but a lot of them. And then a cool composition with a warm color to the mix, but I only needed one. So I hope that you have had a lot of fun playing along with me. I would love to see your art. You can mail it to lyric@lyrickinard.com, and maybe we can post them all on my blog when I get around to remember it. But I appreciate your playing with me today. Go make a lot of art. It doesn't matter if it's bad. Have fun with it, and we'll see you later. Hello, my name is Lyric Montgomery Kinard. I'm an artist and educator, and I want most to help you find confidence in the creativity I know you already possess. Whether that is by learning a new skill, a technique, or by learning the basic principles and elements of art, which anybody can learn, it's not that hard, or buying supplies for the art that you already make. You can find help with all of those things if you go to my website, lyrickinard.com. I'd also love it if you subscribe to my channel and gave it a like. Go find joy by seeing the world through the eyes of an artist.